Yes, what you saying, boys? Vodka and wings.
What's going on?
Episode 1. Yo, everyone got their stuff?
Don't know the thing.
Come with the wings.
Hand out these wings.
Ain't had dinner and I'm hungry.
Certain man sound hungry, boss.
Alright, listen.
So where are the wings from today?
The wings today are from Dixie, Coventry Road, Small Heath.
Let's do some peri peri.
Come on.
Some grilled
You got peri peri?
Peri Peri.
go.
Cheese.
Don't know.
Any of you man?
Yo,
need
these
a
are
one?
nice, you know. I ain't gonna lie.
I only do the best.
Gillette.
This man said it's drippy.
Oh! You tell me after you pass it to me.
I told you while I was blood.
Yeah. You get me?
Oh, it started.
That is some joke thing, that is.
But you bring it. Look, yeah.
All I'm gonna say,
He's got a point.
all I'm gonna say is my chicken wings are finished.
What's in there?
It's just the bag. She wanted to put it in there to stop the drip.
It's just a bag. So, vodka and wings.
Cheese.
Little bit of an introduction. Myself, I'm Dre.
Rico.
Oz.
Noah.
Now, we thought we would bring this to you specifically because we're all boys and we thought we've got a lot to talk about. Hence, the birth of vodka and wings. Boys, cheers.
Chala,
Episode
ching,
1.
ching,
Chala
ching,
in.
ching.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cool.
All right, so we do have quite a few things to talk about today. Kind of a jam-packed episode 1, so to speak. So the first topic to get stuck into is everybody's favorite topic right now, which is the pandemic, aka life in lockdown. I wouldn't even say it's favorite. I'm just saying it's probably the most talked about thing in the last few months, obviously, because it affects everyone. So what I wanted to know or just get at is like, how has it been specifically for you guys? Obviously everybody's got their own story, but like, how has it been for you? So me specifically, lockdown hasn't been too bad.
You're now listening to the Vodka and Wings podcast. Come on, Jake.
A weird time, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with the roads, especially with the whole situation with traveling and being in contact with other people. It was a little bit difficult, it was a little bit like nervy and that, but after a while it soon felt like normal again. But yeah. So how did you feel like lockdown was gone for you?
No, when lockdown first started, I kind of enjoyed it. Like just getting to have that time off and spending time with family and the kids and whatever. I was thinking, yeah, this ain't too bad to be fair. But normally I'm normally at work throughout the whole year. I only ever get a couple of days off through Christmas. Other than that, I'm more or less working unless I book a holiday to go on holiday. But if I'm not going on holiday, I'm just working.
My brother.
So how much holiday do you get a year? Is that like, so when you say a couple of days, you like over Christmas, is that specifically like just like Boxing Day and Christmas Day and then you're back at work or?
And then probably from like Christmas Eve or the 23rd until say the 3rd of January.
Oh, okay.
That's just because I work in construction and the site's normally shut down.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, the site's open throughout the whole year, kind of thing.
Okay. So you said it weren't too bad. So like, how is it like now? Because obviously we still, I wouldn't say we're in complete lockdown, but we're still semi under this kind of like, I don't even know. I think this is part of the problem. Yeah, the restrictions. Like, we don't really know whether we're coming or going, and a lot of people are kind of a bit apprehensive about leaving, and then some people are just like gung ho. They're just like, I don't care. I'm just going out, no mask. I'm just doing what I want. So like,
It is a bit of a grey area because, like they say now, eat out to help out, but at the same time, it's stay at home, and then it's like, oh, what do I do? Like,
Messages.
eat out, but stay at home.
just to see my front door, like, oh. It's all of it. So it's hard to say like. They make it out like it's this scary, but then they say go and eat out and stuff, and it's like, oh, I thought you said I was gonna die. Like, hold on. Nah, like to make it out like
It is what it
is. Don't go to this place. Don't go to this. Everyone's eating out. No one's got masks because obviously you're eating. So why is that any difference to like an office or anything like that? But they make out like you can't do them things because it's dangerous. But then when money comes into it, oh, it's not dangerous. Come on, help us out.
Yeah, nah. True say still.
Nah, I hear that.
So then it's hard. When you want to do other stuff now, you're thinking, oh, well, I ate out.
He's got a point.
Trust me.
Dude.
Very, very true, man. Very true, man.
Right.
Nah, it's true. It it is a bit of a weird one, and I don't think it's gonna get any. I don't think it's gonna get any clearer as time goes on. Because schools are opening back up, but I'm hearing like pubs are supposed to be closing down to compensate, and I don't understand the relationship between a pub and a school. Me personally, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't see how a pub affects like people going to school or vice versa. But I don't know. But so what do you think, Oz? Like, how have you dealt with like lockdown and how things have been?
Boy, see me now, yeah. Like it's the whole working from home thing. Obviously, like man does the 9 to 5. Used to go in there all the time, and then all of a sudden, boom, everybody stay at home. Gotta get used to like just getting up, going downstairs, doing my daily job, and then finishing for the day. But being in the same place where I like chill, you get me. So that was a bit mad still, bit mad getting used to, but it's been all right though. Like obviously, how many months has it been now? Like 6 or something.
6 and counting.
Bro, man's at his living room, in his living room all the time, at the dining table, just doing my work, looking out at the garden, and just doing my thing. Like,
You know what? I've always thought that like I've always said to people like when I go to work, I try and like leave work at work because I don't really like it mixing with my home life. If you get what I'm saying. So I either stay at work and do my bits and pieces and then leave, or just leave it for another day, just so I don't have to take it home. So like, how did that feel for you? Like finishing work and then just chilling in the same room that you've been working in all day. I don't know.
bro, I'll be honest, at the start it was a bit mad because like I finished my work, pack the computer away, like get up, take about 3 steps, sit down in the chair to where I'm gonna chill for the evening. You get me?
Just
Like,
there, just there.
raw. So it's like I had to like kind of change like certain things that I would do. So like I would like after work and that just like go out, like go for a walk, go to the park, like go kick a ball. Just something like that to be able
Something
to
different to
be
break
able
it up.
Yeah, break it up. Get out, get away from the house and that.
Do you feel like when you're working at home, you're as productive as you are when you're at work, like in the office and stuff?
I'll be honest, like
I don't think I could do as much work. I could get distracted easily.
to be fair, at the start, yeah, it was a bit like raw, like. Man just got YouTube on all day. Like, there's these Netflix things that man wants to catch up on. Like, you know, if you can let it, like, you know, get a bit much, like, kind of thing. But me personally, it's like, I know I have to do this, and if I don't do this, like, get me, man's in trouble, innit? Plus, my manager be calling me every so often anyway. You get me? So it's one of those. That, yeah, you know you have to do it. But to be fair, I've learned how to balance it now. I've got my certain times when I watch stuff, certain times when I'm just doing work. Like, you get me? So yeah, I've kind of got it unlocked still.
That's weird because I think like before I actually had to go back to work, I had to work from home, but there was a set like amount of work that we needed to do, like for either for the week or for the day. So like I would just leave it, and then bang it out quick, and then after that, it was like, yo, the rest of the time is mine. Don't need to do anything else. But just getting off the mark and being able to actually do something, I was just like, I can't be bothered, man. I'm at home. I'm still in my Marvel Capcom dressing gown. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to do so. So I do commend you for being able to do that. I can't do that personally. I struggle with it. I'll be honest. Like home is home, innit?
I hear that.
Home is home.
Especially with little ones and that running around.
That's what I say.
Boy.
You got the kids running around and that, and then you're there trying to type away at your laptop, and then you're getting Barbies and toys thrown in your head. Like,
That's
no.
what you're dealing with, Josh.
Yeah,
That sounds all
definitely,
wrong,
boy. My little man's active, boy. He just doesn't stop. He just doesn't stop, man. He's awake from friggin' 7:30, but fair play to the missus. She like attends to him in them early mornings, but when it comes to like the after hours, then I'll look after him and that. Get me, but lockdown for me, the first 6 weeks, that was tough.
Like, why?
Just to find the balance.
Okay.
Because I've never worked from home before. Never worked from home. Never wanted to work from home before. But working from home, it's a new experience, man. Freaking getting up at freaking 8:30, shower, ready
Downstairs.
for 9 o'clock. That was me.
Don't you think like obviously, like loads of people have been working from home. Don't you think that they could have just did that anyway? Like,
Nah,
you think it's better to actually go to a place of
Yeah.
work and do your work rather
Yeah,
than
because
how it is like now?
For me, I'll be more focused at a place of work rather than at my house. Because at my house, I'm thinking, it's my house, man, I'm chilling. I'll do it when I can.
Not if you want a job, you won't.
Exactly. But,
If everyone was working from home, it'd be harder for like employers and stuff to pick good employees. Man, you'd see them at interview and then not see them again. Like,
True
who's
still.
doing this work? Oh, God, who is it?
nah, 'cause I've been at my place now a year, but I've only been in the office probably 6 months.
Okay.
So, for me, that when it was in lockdown, I had to make sure that I was trying to keep up, but I had to tell my manager like, look, both of us are working, so it's kind of hard to manage the little one. So my workload is going to be not as effective as what it would be if I was in the office. And fair play to him. He was like, you know what, do as much as you can. Because at this moment we know that people have got different circumstances, so it's all good, man.
I was gonna say that though. Don't you think like because obviously if you're working from home, there's things that you need to get done. So then wouldn't you just get a set amount of work and then just be like, yo, this is what you need to do, get it done, regardless of whatever you got going on around you. Just get it done, whether it's in 2 hours, 6 hours, just get it done. Don't you think that would be like more productive or not?
I think that's
nah.
unrealistic.
Yeah,
You reckon?
defo.
I've never experienced it, so I don't know.
But in the line of business that I do, probably the same for ours as well.
If you're in the office and they say, this is the amount of work that you've got, do it within this time, that's different. You're in the working environment, so we understand. If you're actually at home, not in a working environment, and you've got other stuff going on around you that wouldn't normally be there, I wouldn't say it was fair to be like, oh, you need to do the same amount of work that you would normally at work now that you're home, even though that the kids are off and, I don't know, your mom, dad, sister are all at home. All at home.
Making up
in your
noise.
house, making up noise.
Frying up dumplings.
Trying to talk to you and distract you, and now you have to do the same amount. Obviously, as long as you're not taking the pee with it, like, you get me? With regards to my job and that, they're quite good with regards to stuff like that, innit? So I can't complain too tough.
I must agree. My workplace is exactly the same. They've been very, very flexible, man. Even though I'm on furlough now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, boy.
easy. So like, so what do you think is gonna be like? What do you think it's gonna look like going forwards? Because at the moment, like what you were saying, Rico, like it's unclear about as to where we're gonna be going with it. Are we still continuing with this social distances? Are we not continuing with it? It's all a bit grey. So like, what do you think it's gonna look like? Do you think we're gonna go back into another lockdown, or do you reckon it's gonna be like a partial lockdown, or do you reckon it's just going to be like, yo, normal, just do whatever you want?
I keep hearing second wave, second wave, Birmingham, second wave. That's all I'm hearing at the moment, and it's just like, rah, like, it must be coming soon. You get me?
But why do you think that, like, what was you going to say?
Randomly, does anyone know anyone that's actually had COVID?
Not personally.
Nah.
I
know someone that was
yes.
ill, but
Yes.
we don't know if it was COVID.
I do. I know somebody who's had COVID. He was on the what's that thing called?
Ventilator.
Yeah, he was on the ventilator for at least 2 to 3 weeks, but then he came out of it, and now he's getting back to normal health. And that one guy that I work with.
Did he have any underlying issues?
Well, obviously, I'm no doctor, and I don't know. I don't
be
know
like-
his personal health.
I mean, he wasn't examining him or anything. I'm saying, I mean, do you know if did he walk with a limp or something like that? Did he have,
But his name not 50.
Is this 50 Cent?
I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Nah, like as far as I know, like he was just a healthy brother, like kind of thing. Like he'd come into work, walk from the train station, walk back. Like didn't have no problems doing like any stuff like that. Like I don't know if he did any kind of fitness outside of work or whatever. Like he was in his 50s, if that means anything, maybe age or whatnot. But I don't know anything that he had any bad health. And they only say age because they said
'cause of
older
the older
people
ones,
are
yeah.
more likely. You get me? But yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
You're now listening to the Vodka and Wings podcast.
I just think it's so inconsistent with what's gonna happen. Like schools are opening back up, and to me, those are just breeding grounds for COVID. If COVID's as contagious as it's been reported, you got what I'm saying? Like they're trying to say no, you'll be alright in school, but realistically, you got children traveling on buses, going into like news agents, mixing with other kids, and that. It's just a breeding ground really. And then you're sitting in a hot classroom.
Schools can't even protect kids from head lice.
That is true, you know. Get that last at home.
Man, if it's that dangerous, they shouldn't be going back to school personally, I think.
So what you saying about your children? Like, well, go on, like, if you had the choice, because obviously they're making it mandatory now that you have to send your kids back to school. So if you don't send them to school, you're liable to get fined and like, obviously action taken against you. So.
Yeah, but well, you could get around that by saying that you're gonna homeschool them.
True. But
Obviously,
then,
I'm going
Get around it.
who the hell's
How you
homeschooling in
gonna
your house?
homeschool
yeah, get around like getting fined and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm comfortable right now to say that my kids will go back in September. 'Cause I don't feel the risk and threat is as bad as they said it was.
Yeah, I don't think it is
Personally.
either. There's too much contradiction going on.
Yeah.
And if
So
it
then
was
what-
and
so-
if it was serious, they would just lock it down completely.
Yeah.
None
But
of
do-
this
do-
eat out and all
Why
that.
the masks then? I know I've got my own obviously thoughts on it, but then why the masks if it's not that serious?
That's what I'm saying. But
Fashion statement thing. or
nah,
what?
but they say wear masks when they go into the shop and the people in the shop are not wearing masks. The workers.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
And it's like, well,
It is a bit of a free for all.
because you're working, you can't get COVID. You can get COVID. when you finish work. Like, what one?
Bro,
Does he get
I was
COVID
in
if
Morrison's, bro. I'm walking around the aisles and I'm seeing bare people without masks.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what go on here? Like, how come you don't have to wear one?
But they didn't know, that's the thing, and it was only until has it been like 3 weeks, 4 weeks since we have all that time before that
We didn't need one.
we didn't need one. So then they're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
thinking like, do you know what I mean? So then that's
And how
what,
did if it's so dangerous, how would the planet like? All right, we're in a pandemic and there's this virus going around, but in 2 weeks everyone's got to wear a mask. Like, what, like the new from like they told us in advance, yeah, you're gonna have to wear a mask in 2 weeks. Like people are dying now. Like
Yeah.
that don't make no sense. Like.
Bad dodge.
Like, buildings on fire.
Bad
We'll put a
dodge.
fire brigade tomorrow. Like, oh, man.
But don't worry, man. Everything's cool, yeah.
You got a mask.
Hey, it's one of them ones.
it is what it is.
Nah, man. It just seems like very. There's too many holes in it now.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. In the beginning, I was on it like, I was buying stuff from the shop. I was wiping it down and that.
Was you one of them guys that was like boxing people over for toilet tissue?
Nah.
Yeah, you were that. Nah, Asda was going off. I ain't gonna lie. Asda was going off. We couldn't even get in the place.
It's
Fight
swear.
UFC fight night, man.
I had a few plugs and that was.
Easy got plugs for
I don't know.
tissue. Oh god! I got a plug for tissue, you know. What happened to him? Yo.
Watch him.
Nah, because I worked in the supermarket, it used to hold stuff back for me, so that was never a problem.
That's killing
But
it.
yeah, in the beginning, I was
Man
buying
like.
stuff from the shop, was bringing them home and was wiping down all the stuff that we bought from the shop, and we had our gloves on and stuff, and we was proper taking it serious. And after a bit, it was like, well, what's the point now? Like, it don't make sense.
I was indoors for a good 3 weeks, man.
Solid without leaving the yard.
Without leaving the yard. Probably went in the back garden, that was about it. With the little man. Bouncing castle, trampoline. That was about it.
Your food all delivered and that.
Now she'd go out and get it. I stayed in.
You can risk your life.
No.
Where are the trousers? Where are the trousers?
It's not even that. She wanted to go out. She was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go out. I'm going out. I was like, all right. If you want to go out, fair enough, man.
So if you're going out, can you just pick up the shopping on your way home? Is that one of them ones?
But she loves to do that. She don't like to take me because whenever I go with her, we spend more money. She goes in and she knows boom what she's gonna get. When we go,
She's got
I'm
a
like-
budget cap on.
I'm like, yeah, let's get this, let's get that.
You're supposed to have food before you go shopping, innit? You're not supposed to go shopping when you're hungry. That makes the situation worse. You know, you've been shopping when you're hungry. You just buy stuff for the sake. That'd be nice. You know what? I'll get one of them.
Nah,
Like you just go down the aisle, you see the red thing that says offer, and you're hungry, and you're thinking,
Yellow stickers in
yeah, bro, I got my shades on for them. You know what I mean?
Oh shit. Nah,
All right.
That's mad.
So what I wanted to discuss next is what you want. Oof, he's going in, guys. He wants another shot. Hey, listen, we have the vodka in the building. Charapt, aka Russian Standard. We got the juice to accompany it because, you know what, fizzy pop's worse for your teeth, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
All right, so what I wanted to discuss next was football, lads. Like, this is a hot topic because we've got our Arsenal guy sitting in here with his Arsenal shirt on, no less.
Come on, Jet. Come
No
on.
less. I know Arteta's gassed. This is his first trophy.
What? You get me? Come
Get
on.
me.
What's Mourinho won at Tottenham though?
Shut.
Get me, cuzzy.
Yo. All right. So, first and foremost, before we go into this, let's just state because there's two tiers of conversation right here. We got the Premier League supporters, and then we got this guy who supports. Yeah.
There's no need for
That was a low blow.
He's local.
That was a low blow.
His local team.
That was a low. That's why he was late today. He was at the shrine, and he was at the shrine.
8:38.
Listen, I'm on the 8:38, guys. So I'm sorry. Sorry. So obviously, me myself, I support Liverpool, and there's been a conversation about a lot of teams in the Midlands, bar one, in the Premier League. So, can you take us through that? No, what are you even laughing for? I'm just saying, like, expand on it, like. You're speaking on behalf of Birmingham City Football Club right now.
I'll leave it to the top teams at the minute. Get me? Let you up to battle this out. Go on, Mourinho. Go on.
To be fair, I don't even like Mourinho, you know. I'll be honest with you.
Oof, that's a low blow. What do you mean you don't like him? Well, I suppose,
I
yeah.
think
I've
it's
never-
working for years. Is it special?
Nah.
Just state to the
He's
listeners who you support, man.
It's obvious who was supporting it.
It's not obvious.
No.
You're now listening to the Vodka and Wings podcast.
Bro.
Okay. Anyway,
sorry.
we'll leave it there.
Sorry.
But yeah, I ain't a Mourinho fan, so you know, I don't know who we would have instead of him
So,
at
alright,
this
then,
moment
so
in time. But
you're saying that you're not a fan. Like, why? What has he done?
I just don't like him as a manager, as
Why?
a person. As a manager, I respect him, respect for what he's done. He's done bits, but as a person and tactics, nah. I think when we had Poch, there was a sort of like an ethos that we had as a team.
Call him Potch like he's your mate.
Trust me.
Punch, man, punch.
Who's got him on a blower?
Yeah. Let me phone him. Now, what's your manager's name? Have you forgotten my?
Zola. I heard it was Zola last time. Gianfranco.
Nah, but under Pochettino, we had a ethos of how he was gonna play, what type of style of football he was playing. Then Mourinho's come in, and it's just like all changes come with his ideas and.
So what has changed? Because you're still scoring goals. Like, what formation change or like
It's the style.
the way
if you watch the style of play that it is, it's not as good. Don't get me wrong. He probably doesn't lose as many games, but when you're watching it, it's like watching paint dry. It is.
Oh, that's what he's
dull.
known for, that rubbish play though.
Exactly. And
Yeah, but that, like,
who wants that though?
all right. So answer me this question right now. Like,
Tottenham.
the right now, Tottenham couldn't win a heart attack. So if Mourinho came in and then just like won a trophy, like would you sacrifice the way that you're playing, yeah, for a trophy, or would you rather just go back to how you was playing on the pitch and just continue like how you have been for the next 10 to 15 years
And not winning.
and not winning anything?
Now I think that if we carried on the way how Poch was playing, he would have brought something if he had the backing of the chairman, because
Ooh, that's a cool. Nah, you know what? Because you man lost the Champions League final, so you were doing things already. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, but you man lost the final, so you can't.
The way you said that is like you didn't know.
I'm just saying, like, you had lost it.
So far, innit?
So it's not like, all right, so he didn't have the backing, but he did have the resources to be able to get that far because he got that far.
Yeah, but you still need to add players to the squad that we had. The squad that we had weren't good enough, and they needed additional players, and he never got that from the chairman.
So you don't believe that they played good enough to get to the finals? You think they just about made it?
I think we did. We just about made
be
it.
fair,
we
they
just
did.
about made it.
To be fair,
Let's be honest. We just about made it, and then when we got there, I don't know
The
what
final was
happened.
dead though. The final was dead.
I don't know what they played. I don't know what form. I don't know why they played. To be honest with you, I
don't know who
don't know
turned
why
up.
they played. I don't know why they played Harry Kane. They should have just played with Mora.
Yeah, that was a
should've
bit of a
just-
slap. If I was Mora right now, I'd be banging on that manager's door and I'd be saying, you need to sort something out. Because
Yo, boss.
he
He got us there. He got us there. So you might as well have just played him.
I wouldn't say it wasn't just him, but he was influential into his
Yeah.
success. You get me? So then, just to get dropped because Harry Kane's a bigger name I think is a bit of a slap in the face.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with that, with the way how Tottenham played in that game, it wasn't set up for a Harry Kane game. It was set up for a Mora game, because if you play the ball over the top, it makes Van Dijk and what the defenders go
Yeah,
backwards,
stretch.
rather than if Kane's got the ball.
Hold on. Hold on. I can see Arteta over in the corner shaking his head. Is that?
Nah, you know what? The only reason why I'm shaking my head is because obviously what he was just saying about playing the ball over. I was thinking, yeah, Harry Kane ain't getting to that.
Yeah, exactly.
He ain't getting to that.
Exactly.
So it's
Mora,
like,
there's
no
a
way.
better chance of Mora getting to it, or at least turning the defense to go backwards. And
So do you think that would have been a successful game plan in that game specifically? Because me personally, yeah, that's good, and I know that it can play ball, but like,
I don't know.
is he as clinical as Harry Kane?
No, he's not. But
So then, would you not put Harry Kane in there?
he wasn't 100% fit. Why are you gonna play someone that ain't fit?
Because he
In the
scores goals, innit?
in the biggest game potentially of
in
his
the biggest game
of his career up to date.
of your team's history. Like, you gotta play the biggest players. Like, that stage is for them. That's why he did it. That's
I
what
believe
say.
so.
But
know.
I still
I think
think
that
that it was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, I think it was as well.
What do you think they should have done then? Us.
You should have started with the big man, the Brazilian brother. You get me? I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. He's
Man,
not
don't
my player.
He don't care. He does not care any Tottenham player.
He got them to the final, and he did a mad thing in the semi-final, got them through, and then man got benched.
Yeah,
Nah.
I'd have been mad.
Not
I think that's where we lost.
not
I
me,
think that's
brother.
where we lost the dressing room.
All
at
right,
that time.
before we move on, like, I know you're saying Patch, but me personally, I think something else was going on in there because Ericsson left, and if you heard a few of his statements, he was saying like, I was the black sheep there, like I didn't fit in with anybody, XYZ was happening, all of that kind of talk on the patch. So like, what was going on?
Don't know, mate.
I
I
reckon.
was in the dressing room.
I reckon.
Is he
I reckon-
Pochettino now? Because he doesn't know.
I reckon with Ericsson, there was something else going on. There was, obviously, I'm not in the changing room either,
Apparently
but there was
some-
bare chat about somebody's wife. You get me?
What you mean, like, what you-
Somebody did a thing with his wife or something like that.
What did
You
it?
get me?
Heard it was the Tongan.
Yeah,
You heard it was the Tongan.
The Tongan.
Get me?
But who
And
knows,
it kind
man.
of messed up the vibes, like within the changing room and that. You get me? So
So when you're saying this, he was the black sheep, you reckon that was like a bit of cold to say, you touched up my wife, like I had to leave.
That's how it, that's how it,
What, it
I
was-
said you touched up my wife.
Where was she? Why is she in the changing room?
female changing rooms. But you know what I find crazy is how man can look at a teammate's frigging woman and be like, I want some of that.
Because it's not their brethren.
I suppose, but
Just
Yeah,
been
it's-
slapped together, innit?
That's why.
yeah, but they were teammates for what, 5 years plus.
Yeah, but
Bro,
you don't know.
you can have a teammate and you cannot like the brother.
Exactly. You don't
Just
know
like going
the.
to work, innit?
Yeah. You don't like everybody at work.
Gotta work as a team, though.
There's some people at work I would definitely make a cup of tea for. Other people, I'm not flicking the kettle on for them. I'll be honest. You could have a cold cup of tea,
Licked nice.
and it's probably one of them. Like they would never know because I wouldn't use my time with them. You get me? I wouldn't dedicate any time to them. But
Boy.
it could be like that. So That's a weird one. So what do you think? It's like season overall.
If I'm honest, yeah. With regards to the Premier League, I wasn't happy. It was just going wrong. When lockdown happened, everything finished. I thought, are we gonna get in Champions League? It's not really looking like it. Come back from it. We wasn't really winning games. It was like, oh man, this is a joke, because like every time Arsenal don't win a game, even if they draw, but especially when they lose, everybody heads over to AFTV to see what's going on. What's Troop saying, what's DT saying, and all of that. Like, you get me?
Do you reckon that sways opinion? Because like a lot of people won't even watch the game, and they'll just watch like that match report kind of thing, like their discussion about the game, and make their decisions based off that. So do you reckon it's like, I know it's good because they've got a voice, but do you think it's a little bit bad at the same time? Yeah, there's loads. It's YouTube, and it. So imagine if you're at work and that, like, there's some people that are at work that just can't watch the game anyway. So like, do you know what I'm saying? So then
the highlights.
They might do, but it's still not watching the game, is it? It's still, and then they'll go to AFTV and then hear their opinions, and then they've got those type of opinions now because it's reinforced what kind of thing.
Obviously, some of the stuff / a lot of the stuff on there is obviously exaggerated, and I don't believe all of it is, because obviously they're all passionate people who are coming on there. Like, it's like, they're just coming fresh out of the game, and this is their time to vent, so they're just venting. You get me? Just venting about all the things that they didn't like when we lose, and all the things that they like when we win. But obviously, when we lose, it's just even worse, because it's like, this man didn't do this, that man didn't do that. They're cussing out at people and that, and it's like, oh, raw, like, kind of thing. You get me? But some of it's deserved, some of it isn't. You get me? It's one of those. But yeah, the FA Cup, obviously.
Yo,
it kind of saved the season. Obviously, man wants Champions League overall in it, but obviously we wasn't good enough to do that. We wasn't good enough to even get into a Europa League spot, but we managed to do that by winning the cup. So obviously, man was happy. I don't know who was saying something about Wolves being in Europa, but they ain't in it.
They ain't in it.
You get me? I think Tottenham have to go through the qualifying rounds now, and obviously because we've won a cup, we won some silverware. We just get straight in there. So yeah, it's one of those. But obviously, winning the cup, oh mate, that was brilliant. You know why? Because like, I must have. Mate, when's the last time Blues won?
Oh snap! Okay.
Was that when they beat Arsenal?
How long ago? Is that when they got relegated?
I think it was. Yeah, it was.
I'm saying. No, but your point was.
Hey, we can do this. We can do this.
I'm not in this.
It was nice to win.
I'm not in this conversation.
The last time we won, the last time we had silverware was about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago.
Didn't you win that?
Nah, not that season. So it was about 2 years ago. That's the last time we won something. So it wasn't that long ago. But you would like to win it every season, but obviously, especially us at this moment in time, we're not really in a position to be able to do that. We like to be fighting all the time for the big honours, but hey, I'm happy with the FA Cup.
Do you know what? I think the FA Cup is a big honours. I'll be honest. People are demoting it to calling it just a throwaway cup, and they're not really taking it seriously. But I personally think it's a cup worth winning. It's silverware at the end of the day. If you got a chance to win it, why wouldn't you try? Like, especially like, you know, like clubs like Wolves, potentially like Crystal Palace, I suppose. I was gonna say them type of clubs that are not necessarily going to be challenging for like top 4 places or top 6 places. Why wouldn't you put all your eggs into like winning the FA Cup? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I hear that.
So when I'm seeing Arsenal win it, I'm not looking at them thinking, oh, it's just the FA Cup. I'm like, yo, well done. You get me? That was a good thing. Like, I can't remember the last time Liverpool lifted the FA Cup, although we did win the Premier League. I'm just saying, you get me? 30 years of hate. I was inevitable, boys, but 30 years of hate from the Man U guys down the road, yeah, giving it stacks, and that was our time. I'm not going to
Enjoy
rub
it,
anybody's
enjoy
face
it.
in it. I think Man U have done well this season, especially after lockdown. I don't know what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was feeding Rashford and Martial and all of them, man.
Greenwood,
Bro,
man.
they
Greenwood,
smashed
I don't
them.
know what
Smashed
they
Greenwood-
come back with a vengeance. Get
Greenwood's
me?
got them on their toes, man. Greenwood's like, I think he was gonna be good, you know.
I think he is, but you know what the biggest thing for me is? Like, I think personally, like,
He's a striker.
nah,
He's not
I
a
think
winger.
Pogba looks better now that Fernandes is in there. What do you think?
I don't think he has to do as much, if that makes any sense. So
Pogba.
Yeah. In terms of, he's not the main creator.
Okay.
I think where he was playing, he kind of had to defend as well as dictate the game, and I don't think he could do it from that position where he was at.
He was like, that's not my game.
Nah, I think he needs some. If they bought Kante, I think they might do bits, but
He's been looking a bit offish.
Yeah, he's been
last
injured.
few games.
Yeah, he's been
Oh,
injured.
maybe that
But-
was it still.
I don't think he's entirely happy there, to be honest.
I don't.
Do you reckon?
Nah, I don't think he is.
They're gonna be
Not as
doing
happy
bits
as he
next
has been.
season, you know.
Who, Chelsea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you'll get a couple players still.
Yeah. What do you think about transfers anyway? Because like I was listening to Talk Sport today, and they're saying that it's a bit of a sticky one because of the pandemic. So like clubs are a little bit hesitant to like make purchases because they don't know about their financial future, whatnot. Especially like not having crowds in the stadium to be able to
impact,
generate revenue in it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're struggling like just to like make ends meet. Basically, even Arsenal the other day, how many
55, bro.
55 layoffs? You know, no furlough.
Bro, that's a
Later.
joke. The reason why it's a joke because the players took a pay cut to be able to save jobs,
Okay.
and then they let go of 55 staff.
As well as the pay cut.
Yeah, bro.
well as
So
winning the
obviously
cup.
some of the players had to go to like the chair and be like, yo, well, go on. You get me?
But I'm sure the clubs have got their league rewards now, like their payouts for their league positions.
Is it as much as normal though?
Not sure if what. I'm not sure still.
And I potentially would, but how much money is that? I know Champions League places are a lot. You get a little bit from that, and you'll get more for being in the Champions League. But realistically, how much are we looking? Because the only payment that I'm
Couple of
aware
mil?
of that's significant is the
About 7
parachute.
mil?
That's what I'm saying. 7 mil is like a drop in the ocean for them top clubs. I'm saying if the top, if
Nah,
the
the
top is
top-
7 mil, or say the top is like 20 mil, even that's still. It's potentially a player, but it's not like significant amount of money. Whereas the parachute payment for who got relegated? Norwich, Watford, and Bournemouth. So them man are gonna get paid, so they're gonna have a significant advantage over all the other teams in the championship because they're getting a parachute payment, and
I don't agree with that parachute payments.
it is what it is.
That's true.
But you got what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Well, I don't know about them transfers, but we bought Højbjerg, and I'm like, what? Who? What is he gonna do to the team?
Who's he? Didn't he work in Dixon's down the road or something?
Trust me. Only gonna Solskjaer just freaking sent him to us, man.
Højbjerg.
Trust me. I'm just like, who is he? Like, what is he gonna bring to this Tottenham team? And this is why I kind of
But that's not a Mourinho thing. That's just is it Levi? What I'm naming? What I'm naming?
It's in the building.
He don't want to spend no money.
Well, if you look at it, they paid 3 mil for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Never
like
know.
That's like
Never know. Vieira costs, I don't know, something cheap.
He ain't
like
no
that, innit?
Vieira.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. He's not no
we
Vieira.
don't know that though.
Nah, he ain't no Vieira. Let's be honest. Let's be totally honest. He ain't no Vieira.
Well, I hope he ain't.
He could do something good though.
Like what?
So I'm just
He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing
Give some
at
support.
Southampton. Come on.
allow it.
This is whack. Allow it.
You know, sometimes you think, why has the club bought this player? What is he gonna do to improve this team? And I'm looking at him and I'm like, you know better than what we already have at this team. Why would you then?
So
Why
what
the
do you
player?
think your team needs?
You definitely need a right back because I think Serge is going. Need a backup for Harry Kane. Probably
Arteta
need.
said you need a miracle.
He's probably right. He's probably right. There's a lot of things that need to be done at that team, but
I reckon you'll get there. Just stick at it, innit?
What
We
with
laughing at me.
Mourinho?
Why are you laughing at me? I'm telling you to
I
support
reckon
him.
he'll be gone within 2 seasons. Within 2 seasons, he'll be gone. 'Cause
I don't know
think
what's happened
He's
to
a bit
him.
toxic, man.
I was
He's a
gonna,
bit toxic.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's gone like his man management. I feel like has got worse.
He's gone this season.
You reckon?
This coming season, he's gone.
Oh, I
That's
hope
in
so.
fact that's the next thing I want to talk about before we
hope
move
so.
on. Premier League sack race. I know it's a horrible thing to talk about, but who do you think is going first?
I don't know about first.
Steve Bruce.
You reckon?
Where's he? Villa
Newcastle?
or Newcastle?
You reckon?
If they don't get the if they get a takeover, then he'll be gone. The first thing he'll be gone.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's stopped, isn't it?
But if they go through with it, then I think he'll go.
That's a sticky one because the Premier League stopped that. It wasn't between them.
Or it will be
Still.
the Villa manager.
You reckon?
I think it could be.
Why? He's just he has kept them up, but
Can't remember what his name is.
so you reckon, but
Dean Smith.
Yeah.
He just does a bit. He does enough.
but would you say the Villa team's a Premier League team, like
Bro,
in terms of
once that brother goes, peak.
true?
Peak.
I think
Grealish.
they need a striker, like
Do you reckon he's gonna
an
go?
actual striker. These people that they've got in, they're championship players. They're not strikers, Premier League strikers, and I think that's the only sort of like position where they're falling short. I think they do defend all right ish.
Yeah, but
They just got no firepower.
Yeah,
no
no, I do
firepower
agree with
at
that.
all.
To be fair,
Even if
they do rely heavily on Grealish.
And even if they got a young player from one of the bigger teams to just come in and score them goals, that might even work for them. But the players that they got in now, which are their experienced players, they ain't doing nothing for them. I agree.
Agreed.
I don't know. I think if I was Dean, I would like try and dabble into the loan market, man.
Man, like,
Definitely dabble into the loan market. 'Cause
Have
you don't.
to.
I don't think the board are just gonna splash money because they stayed in the Premier League. So
nah.
he's got to be smart about what he does. And there's obviously players that aren't getting games that could easily just slot in. And with what's going on in the pandemic,
Even
that's
if
the
they bought-
easiest thing to do. It's just
even if they
wages, isn't
bought,
it?
Brewster from Liverpool, like loaned him, because Brewster's been scoring goals in Championship.
Fair play.
But then is he a Premier League player?
if Grealish goes, it's peak.
That is very true.
I used the derbies to be decent this
Yeah,
year.
just
Derbies, we got 3 of them. Hopefully, Blues can get into it next year. So moving on.
You're now listening to Vodka and Wings podcast.
I think Sideman quitting 1 extra over the N word. Thoughts, gentlemen? Thoughts?
You have to back him. You have to back him on
You have
that
to back him.
because
I rate
look at how they treated Wiley for what he said. They, as they say, they cancelled him on pretty much everything.
Yeah, about the anti-Semitism.
Yeah. And then BBC has let the N bomb go, and
twice.
it's just like, oh yeah,
Twice.
it doesn't matter. Like no one wants to talk about it now. Shouldn't they be treated the same way as how Wiley was treated?
I think, I get what you're saying. I'm not in any way condoning it. I think the context was different, which is probably the more of a reason why he left, because it wasn't a direct attack. It was just the way that it was presented. It didn't need to be said, to be honest. In my opinion, it didn't need to be said.
A big company like the BBC.
They should know,
There's
especially
so many
now.
different people that can proofread and
That's what I
see
mean.
everything that's going on, and all these people just agree like, yeah, that's fine. That's good. Like, even
She's
though
reading the
they're like-
auto cue and
Yeah,
she
they
says in her head she's probably thinking, I don't know.
Like, they just said,
Oh, I'm getting paid.
the way I look at it, they just said with the BBC we can say like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna complain to us, and then we're just gonna say all right.
I do agree.
Because basically that is what happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't-
Complain to us, we're gonna say.
It wasn't in the same context in the way that Wiley said it. I will say that, but she shouldn't have said it anyway.
But the word was said.
Nah, I agree. It shouldn't have been said. It doesn't need to be said. It doesn't need to be said.
So it's in the same context. It's still
Yeah,
it's
you
still
can't,
racism
can't
in that
really
sense.
compare the two, because she's said a word, he's gone on a rant in it. So forget him. She's just said the word. It definitely should have been said on that platform.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're reading out some news saying about what's happened, and then you want to say that. It's like, rah, this is what's going on. Yeah, I understand that you was repeating what somebody else had said, but you should not be repeating that word.
Yeah, I agree.
Normally they wouldn't know.
Well, this is it. You get me?
So that makes it worse than it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
And the Black Lives Matter stuff and the stuff that's been going on in America.
We're talking about
Why
one
would you do
person.
that?
Yeah.
One person
I
said
agree with that.
or gone on a rant, but then you've got a company that's had many levels of
Like,
auditing.
yeah, they should have
And it's
filtered
gone
that.
out.
innit? Yeah.
So in a sense, yeah, it's probably not the same, but it kind of is.
Now I get it because they've probably thought it's not a problem. Like it's all right. It's not. We don't mean it like that, so we can just say it. And that's the
It's a problem.
No, but that's the
I don't really think they just didn't care, in my opinion, because they know that word's a problem. They know
Yeah,
that.
true.
Who doesn't know? If you're working for the BBC, you know before 9 o'clock you can't do swears, or you know all this. You know all these rules and procedures and whatever. You know that word shouldn't be said.
But they
if
still
you just
said
said,
it.
yeah, we'll just let them say it. They've just said, forget it. I don't care what anyone's gonna say. This is what we want to put out.
Do you reckon it's
In my
so?
opinion.
Do you reckon it's right for quitting?
Yeah, I'm ready for
It's
critics still.
it's his belief.
I
So
don't,
it's
I don't
the-
think that it's a right or a wrong thing. Obviously, it was down to him at the end of the day.
His
So
beliefs, man.
it's like fair play to him for standing up what he believes in. You get me?
100%, man.
I rate that
Big
aspect
upside,
of it
man.
because obviously there's obviously the OGs who have all rated him and stuff like that, and people at the station now that are still there. They're like, "Oh, well done, you you did good." But they're like going on the radio station the next day, still spinning the tunes and doing whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
obviously, they rate it, but at the same time,
They
people have got like I don't know, responsibilities and stuff, and they might be thinking, "Oh, I can't do this because of such and such
can't lose my job over this."
Yeah.
and whatever."
Yeah. So they're thinking.
I
So
think
they're thinking the same thing as him, but just kind of like.
they got responsibility.
Basically.
I think Sideman's probably got more options to go into.
Yeah, he makes a lot of money like other ways.
Yeah.
You can
Whereas
see it.
they're probably like
Not really
stuck on
much.
that salary or that wage or that income, maybe one or two, and they're like, can I afford to kind of
So do you
walk
think?
out?
Do you think I'm just playing a bit of a devil's advocate here? Do you think they should? They think they should use that platform to do a bit more then, like what Sideman's done? Because
Who should,
they've all,
sorry?
What do you
so
mean? Who?
like the people that are still within that organization that are black do have those morals and values and whatnot. Do you think they should do more in terms of like not necessarily on the scale of what he's done, but just generally do more for like what they're doing, or should they just carry on like normal and just?
Oh, you
like,
know the
get
thing
paid?
is, like I was listening to what was it, the Breakfast Club the other day, and Charlemagne, it had come up on their news feed, and they was talking about it, and Charlemagne was like, it probably would have been better if he would have stayed and went on about it while he was still like on air. Like I don't know to what extent, because obviously nobody wants to get sacked, but he's an intelligent enough guy to be able to speak about certain things and be like, no, this wasn't right, like so to speak, and cause like bring more attention to it. I mean,
Yeah, that's what.
the fact that he has left, it has brought a lot of attention, but still being on the airwaves, he might have been able to bring even more attention to it because more people would have been listening to his show, and it could have attracted more
Could have
attention.
also made him a target though at work to like manage him out of the company because he said what he said or implied what he's. So
But
he just
he-
probably
what-
thought, you know what, let me just get out of it.
But the
and
thing is,
then
though,
I can say what I want.
he articulated himself well.
Right,
Like
yeah,
he didn't
yeah,
say
yeah.
anything that was above board. You get me? So like, he said everything that he did say was above board. So it wasn't like, it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't inflammatory. He just basically stated like it's not right. It shouldn't have been said. You get me? So this is the reason why I asked. Do you reckon he should have quit? Because I think he should have stayed. Like what Charlemagne was saying, and kind of used his platform a bit. And yes,
Yeah,
it would have
yeah.
made him a target, but because he articulated himself so well, I don't think it would have been a case where he would have got the sack for it, because he wasn't going way beyond his remit. You get me? He wasn't like saying, "Oh, yo, this needs to get fixed. If you don't get fixed, someone's getting it." You get me?
Yeah.
And that's why I think he probably would have done better to stay and then brought more attention to like, you get me?
I think
So-
in,
In other words, if say for example in your work, if it happened, like say your company, whoever you're working for, put out a statement with some kind of racist remarks, what would you do in that situation? Would you leave that company, or would you carry on and just think, forget it? You know what? I got to pay my bills. Or how would you?
Me personally, I'm 100% say I'd say something with my actions. Get me? Especially at a workplace where we know that equality is not necessarily always a thing. I'd probably depending on the situation, either be a bit passive aggressive with it, or I would just say something. I'd just be like, yo, that ain't right, and I would just go directly to the manager. Forget talking to the deputy, the on shift supervisor. I'm going straight to the manager.
I want to
saying,
speak to the boss.
yeah, I'm saying, look, this ain't right. This has been said. Something needs to be done about it, so it doesn't happen again. And I'm not happy about it. And just leave it at that.
But with the BBC, they said that they defend it. They defend their actions, what they did. So if they was to say, nah, we believe that was right for him to say, but sorry that you feel that way, but we're defending what was. Then how would you do it? Go about it then?
If I was like inside my situation.
Or even in like your workplace, if they do something, you went to the big top boss and he was like, nah, but what we done, we thought we believe is right.
I would have still tried to use my platform. If it was in my workplace specifically, in my situation, I would just leave, because it's easy for me to transition into another job, mainly because of my skills. But if I was in Sideman's position, then potentially I would try and use my platform to bring, because he's got millions listening to him.
He can create his own platform. If you look at it like that, he can create his own platform. He's got his own. I'm assuming he's got his own YouTube, or he can have his own YouTube. He's got his own Instagram, so he can still talk about whatever he wants on his own platforms, regardless of the BBC. So he's kind of gone, you know what? I don't need you. Let me do it myself. Talk about stuff myself and work from there.
And you got to see the way he might be looking at it is, they've said this, and obviously he's bringing in listeners to the BBC as well. So he's probably could be thinking, I don't want to be helping you out and working for you if this is how you're going on.
I don't disagree with what he's done. I'll be honest. Like, big upside, man. Like, he's made a stand and he's gone with his convictions. You know what I mean? And there's other people in the organisation that are thinking that and just ain't saying anything. And I think that's probably more of a problem than him getting up and leaving. You get me? Because they're just sitting there chilling out. Yo, well done, bro. Well done, mate. Great on you, like. And then next day in work, you get me? Next day they're not backing him. It's plastic, it's plastic, man. So
sorry, man, I gotta get to work.
Sorry, bro. Call me after we go for a bevy, like like.
It's like they agree with him, but they can't side with him.
Can't side with us. It's a bit punny.
I think that's why BBC get away with these type of things, because there's like the biggest. Obviously, media corporation in the UK, probably one of the biggest. So, for people to say I'm going to leave to try and do something else, it's hard to try and get something better than where they are.
Yeah,
if you're a radio presenter on the BBC,
you got a lot of coverage
in the UK than the BBC, really.
Yeah, you do have a lot of coverage there.
Nah, you're right still.
I'm at the top now. I'm going to leave now.
You have to follow Charlie.
To the realms of YouTube. To the realms of YouTube.
What's that other DJ?
You Dotty.
Yeah.
Hey,
Done as well. Alright, so next thing. We are drawing closer to the end of the episode. So I've got a few things I wanted to talk about. Potentially a dilemma with ours in about 5 or so minutes. But before we step into that, this has been a burning desire of mine ever since I went to the gym. A burning desire to talk about this. So here what, yeah. I went. No, it's a burning desire. I want to talk about it.
It's not a burning desire, is it?
Damn right it is.
Are you burning?
Yes. So I went to the gym the other day, yeah. No one was touching anyone. From what I could see. But I went to the gym anyway. I went to the gym and I started to get to thinking. So obviously he went to the gym. COVID's a big thing in it. So I tend to have a shower after a gym.
Standard.
You get me? Some people don't. I see some people just slap their stuff
nasty.
on. And then I see them walking around in Asda in the next 10 minutes or so. And I think to myself, that's a bit... Yeah. But anyway, so I started to think like...
Hopefully they shower when they get home.
They probably do. Well, I'm hoping so.
I doubt it.
It got me to thinking like, what do you think like a female like change room is like? Do you think it mirrors what a male change room is like? Because
what aspect?
So I was in a male change room the other day. I'm getting changed, and there's two dudes in there that are talking to each other, stalkers, and I'm thinking for all intents and purposes, you could just at least put your boxer shorts on before you like continue your conversation. But they're having a conversation, and both of them are naked now. They're looking each other in the eye. I assume.
Were they lovers?
I weren't listening to what they were talking about. I think it was just some general stuff. I don't know.
Alright.
but they were talking and they were naked for at least 5 minutes, which I think is particularly a long time.
Sorry. Before you carry on, just get this straight. There's two naked men looking at each other, talking to each other, and you're watching them have their conversation.
All right. Hey. Listen, I weren't watching them. I glanced over. You get me? If there's somebody in the room. All right. So, in this time that we've been in this room, yeah, have you looked at me?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, have you looked at me constantly?
Yeah, but if you
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Wait. If you was talking to him gay, if you talking to him,
No one mentioned nothing gay.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, sorry. If you was talking to him with no clothes on, then I'd feel awkward in that situation.
What would you do?
I'm not looking at you. I'm over here getting changed. That situation over there makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Like you used to have no clothes on something.
Like I wasn't standing there looking at them getting myself dressed. Like, oh, what's going on here? This is a bit weird, guys. Like I glanced over and I seen they was talking naked and I'm thinking, yo. And then when I turned back round after I got my shorts and my socks and my trainers on, they're still there naked talking. So I thought, yo, like, does this happen all the time? You get me?
Oh, and does this happen in the what?
Does this happen in a female change room? You reckon? Like, you reckon they're just standing around having a chat? Or do you think
I reckon they're standing around having a chat. I don't know if they're just standing around shaking around or anything like that.
Harlem shuffling.
I reckon they do the same things. They've probably
listeners, let us know.
got their underwear on. And maybe just standing there talking, or they maybe just getting changed at the same time and talking.
I think they're more brazen than the men.
You reckon?
I do.
I don't know, you know.
Personally, I do. I think they can walk out feel more comfortable just walk around naked than the men do.
Nah, but he's talking about a changing room. So a gym changing room. It's like, yeah, say if you and your brethren are there, but then you got hella randoms just all around as well.
Yeah, but I feel like in the men's changing room, there's the odd one or two that feels no way and they'll just box through naked like.
Yeah. You always get that guy.
But then the majority of people got their towel around or whatever. But I think it's more common in the female changing room to just box out, maybe with a towel around, but like breasts and out.
Well, why wouldn't they just put I don't know, don't you think they'll just cover up and go to their cubicle or go to their little area and get changed? Did I have cubicles in? I don't know. I know it's speculation, but I think it was just a weird time and space. Like I glanced and I'm seeing brass, and then I'm looking away and I'm getting changed again, and I turn back around and they're still there. Like
just kept having a glance.
Nah, I looked twice.
Yeah, sure.
I counted this finger and this finger, and that's the time. And that's the amount of times that I looked. You get me?
You did what? What?
Hello? Say that again.
You need to let everyone know that you're married and stuff.
I'm a comfortable guy. You get me? Like, if you want to be naked, you can be naked over there. I just thought it was weird that they was having a conversation for that long. Whilst I'm getting dressed.
I hear that still.
You get me?
I hear that.
Do you think that's okay? Like,
I personally wouldn't do it.
Would you do it?
Myself. No.
Would you do it?
No.
I'm trying to get dressed.
I think it's okay if that's what you want to do, because that's what people are on now. You do what you want to do. You do what makes you happy.
But would you do it?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Obviously, man goes football. Sundays goes football on Saturdays. I go in the shower and whatever. I come out. I got my towel on. I'm drying my parts and that. I'll put on my boxes is the first thing I do. Then I can take my towel off and then carry on drying. But I'll be there in my boxes. I'm comfortable. I'm not comfortable just swinging around like Shaggy. What? You get me? Like, come on.
Yeah, nice.
That's the only reason it got me to thinking, because obviously there's certain man that will just get changed in try and get changed in the shadow or something like.
That is a bit of a mad situation, because normally you just see the odd one but you find the two and they're chatting to each other.
During COVID as well. COVID-19 got people acting different. Get me? I don't know if they showered or not. I didn't want to find out. I left. Get me? So I don't know. I don't know.
Trying to
All right.
avoid that gym that you're going to.
Now my gym's live, man. What you on about, man? Come to my gym, bro. You looking at me like
As you
that?
can
Bro,
tell,
come to my
I
gym.
ain't been gym for a while, so you know.
Alright, we're gonna go to the dilemma.
I'm feeling uncomfortable. Too many guys in here. All right, so Oz.
Okay.
Ours is dilemma.
Ours is dilemma right about now. Okay, so dilemma. Telling a secret. Your friend tells you that they committed a crime. They explain that they are having trouble sleeping at night and feel you are the only one that they can trust with their confession. A few days later, you read in the paper that someone has been arrested for your friend's crime. Do you A. Go to the police and tell them what you know? B. Encourage your friend to confess and warn him if he does not do so, you will tell. Or C. Say nothing because you will not betray a friend's confidence.
It's a bit of a deep one.
I'm on C.
Jeez.
I'm on C.
I'm keeping shut.
I'm on C.
I ain't saying nada.
6'9" around here.
I don't know, man. I don't feel I could say anything, you know.
What if the person arrested was like a close like friend or something like that as
Oh,
well?
like another friend.
Not necessarily, but then would that change it? Would you still just not say anything?
I wouldn't say anything, but then I'd probably speak like, say if he did something and then you got arrested for it, I ain't gonna go to the police, but I say to him like, yo, you need to fix up, cause that's wrong. That is.
Soz.
That's wrong. Like you need to sort this situation out. You get me? Cause
I'd probably just do that anyway. I'd probably just speak to him. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm gonna go to the police and like say what you did, but I'll be like, yo, like, you get me? People are taking a fall on your behalf. You get me? Like, obviously, I'm not gonna say anything, but
Oh,
But what kind of crime is it as well?
Hmm?
What kind of crime they done?
I don't know. It's a bad crime.
a bad one.
You get me? If you're hearing about it in the paper, they didn't rob a packet of sweets. You get me?
But what do you classify as a bad crime?
Let's say he killed somebody. There you go.
ooh,
The-
yeah.
Now what?
what was the background?
Do you know what?
Oh,
If
bro,
between
that's all long.
Nah,
Killed somebody?
No. The reason why is because there's murder in it that you can kind of justify a bit of murder.
Huh?
You can,
Murder's
in a sense.
calculated, bro. What you
You
about?
can kind of justify murder, but
Nah, for real.
but
like,
messing with
certain
like
situations,
kids,
got
you
kids
can't
and stuff.
justify it. You
Like,
can't justify messing with
she
kids,
killed
but that's
someone
also
for
mad.
a good reason.
So there's
But
levels
that
to
would
it.
that would be manslaughter though. So unless
No, but that's if everyone
The
knows
views
the
of
details of the situation.
Rico. Or of Rico.
He said it and I agree. It's my views. No, I'm just saying. I understand what he's saying within justifiable things. Because, like, obviously, I got kids, and if someone wants to do something to my kids,
Yo, trust me,
that's
innit?
justifiable to me to kill you.
Yeah, trust me.
In my eyes, if you've done something that serious,
What?
nah, but he's picked up murder
Yeah.
specifically.
I
There's
understand what he's saying.
there's
but
a
I'm just
difference
saying,
because that probably would be manslaughter because you'd be thinking, yo, nah, I'm going to find this guy. That's not you're not calculating that you're gonna kill him, but you want to hurt
It's
him.
only manslaughter if you can prove what he's done.
True.
So it all depends on what the crime is.
We're saying
What-
that it's murder.
Okay.
But if
Keep it simple.
keep it simple.
We've already said.
All right, but you know what? All right, so I think how it would. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong, yeah. But if say your friend committed like murder, whatnot, and then he told you about it, are you part of that now? Are you like a conspiracy of murder?
Yeah. Because they
Why?
told you.
Boy,
They shouldn't tell you. They should just carry on not sleeping at night.
we know where you stand on it.
Don't tell him about it, bro.
You got a problem.
Nah, you know the thing is, obviously, if one of yous did, then it is what it is, like kind of thing.
It is what it
You get me?
is.
It's one of those, but like, I would say, don't say anything if you've gone and done such a crime like that, bruv. Nah. Yeah, but sure.
Don't know.
You've gone and done a crime like that, bruv. If you can help it, don't come and tell me.
But say if I did and I told you, what would you do? This is the dilemma.
Yeah.
You can't pick. Listen,
Bro, look. If you came to me and told me you murdered somebody, I'd be like, oh. Why? Get me? Why you got to tell me? Get me, bro. Got me involved. You get me? 'Cause obviously,
I'm
man
asking bare
can't,
questions.
man can't just be like, oh yeah, boom, I've got to go down to the feds now and tell him. Is it? You get me? Obviously, if you told me that, I wouldn't say anything. I would ask like, oh, bro, I'm like, why? Like, yeah, because that would be out of character. You
But
get
then
me?
it's just the vibe. If he gives you a reason, can you
Listen.
look at it and go, I can see why you've done it.
I'll just put it out there now. Like, even you could make up how many excuses. Oh, I murdered them for this reason, or I murdered them for that reason. Like, you shouldn't murder anybody, basically. But if he's telling me that he has done that sort of thing, then that's my guy. Like, I've got him. Like, you get me. Even though I don't agree with murder, like that's my guy in it. So it's one of those. You get me. Simple.
Nah,
So A, B, or C?
See,
it probably would be C. It probably would be C. Obviously, I talked to them. Somebody else is taking a 4 for it, but then
One of your close friends as well, taking a phone.
taking a 4, you get me. See, next one of your next brethren's taking a 4 for it. Then what? What go on there?
Okay, let me give you. Say
Would
he's committed the murder. He's going down for it. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
Speak to him. All right, so
would you tell wait there? You might not tell the police, but would you tell him that it was me?
Ooh, technical.
No, you can't
Ooh.
betray him if you don't tell him that. It
and
was
then I'm
me.
betraying you if I say something.
Yeah. So he's stuck in a sticky situation.
Nah, you know what?
Sticky toffee pudding. That is.
Nah, you know it would. I'd give you a ultimatum.
Yeah.
You tell him or I tell him.
that's different to telling feds. So
Yeah. Well, I know what you're saying.
And then obviously it goes from there. Because say my brethren's done nothing wrong, you've done something wrong, and you're telling me not to say anything. But then that's my brethren as well. You get me? So you try to make us pick between the two. I'd probably even be more inclined to say something then, because you're like, don't say nothing to him. Like that's my brethren as well, bro. What you trying to say? Like, you changed. You changed. You get me?
nah, I hear that. Still.
So I don't know.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know.
It is a bit technical. You have to take into account many factors, I think.
Well, of course. It's just, what would you do? What would you do? You haven't actually said anything.
Me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm in an R.
You've been on the fence. You've been absolutely doo-doo in court. What happened, Noah? Well, I don't actually know, but I was there.
I didn't see anything. N-O.
I was asleep.
L-M-E-N-T. No comment. That's what I would say.
So what would
But,
you do? Just before we wrap this up, what would you do?
A, B, or C.
It would obviously have to be C. You can't really tell the feds, like...
All right, we're saying if it's the same situation as what we discussed. So your brethren's taking a 4 for one of your other brethren, and your other brethren saying, don't say nothing to him.
We have to have a conversation. We have to have a chat. Like, yo,
What's the point of that chat, though?
are you gonna take the rap for it, or are you gonna let him take the rap for it?
I'm going to let him take the rap for it. Then what?
No, you can't do that, you know. Cause
So then...
Can't do that, bro. Can't. If it's a random, then it is what it is. But if it's like somebody within the circle and that can't run like that.
Because you kind of have
still.
to say to them, like, look, you've done a
can't run
crime.
like
Man, I have to.
Because imagine you're going to prison to see a man and that, and you know exactly what's happened. Nah.
That's why I'd have to give it ultimate. Especially imagine if you got kids and whatnot, and you're letting a man take a fall, and he's done nothing.
It's mad.
That's deep. You probably won't be able to sleep. Never mind your brethren.
That's very true, man.
So
That is true.
you'd C with the asterisks, basically.
This guy.
C with the asterisks. All right, so that concludes today's episode. Couple of shout outs before we go. Make sure you check the Twitter at Vodka and Wings. Definitely.
Instagram as well at Vodka and Wings.
Also check out our YouTube, which will have a video of the podcast. So definitely go and check that out. Vodka and Wings on YouTube.
Cheers.
Yes, Vodka and Wings.
And ladies and gents, we shall definitely catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Laters.
Hey.
Naughty.